David C. Jones with Before the Curtain Goes Up. And hey, it's going up and it's going down into hell. And I'm talking with one of the cast members of Hadestown, the show that just kept growing and growing and growing. Hello, Will. How are you?
Hello, I'm well, thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Now, you've been with the show since 2021, but well, first off, let's talk about Hadestown. I was just doing some research. It was a little show. They had an idea, and then it just seemed like everyone knew this idea was a good idea because it then became a concept album, and then it evolved into a bigger play based on the concept album, and then eventually went to Broadway and won 8 Tony Awards.
Yeah, sure did.
Why is this show so special? Why do you think, having been in it since 2021?
I think at the core, people are really drawn to really good storytelling and really good music. The music is by Anaïs Mitchell, and she's had her own music career success, and people are really drawn to her poetry and to her musicality. It's unlike any other sound of any Broadway show I've ever heard. And I've been at it a long time. And Rachel Chavkin, the director, she really was able together to craft a beautiful story with gorgeous music. It's sung through. There are no dialogue scenes. It's all music, and people really vibe with the style of folk music, with New Orleans jazz music. And it spans many genres in between. It's really beautiful. It's something you have to witness.
Yeah, and it's based on a Greek myth of Orpheus and, is it Eurydice or Eurydice?
Eurydice.
Eurydice. I'm not even close.
Kind of close.
Well, and I knew it began with an E. So you already got that as a backdrop, and you also have a theme of climate change sort of going through this as well.
Yeah, there are several things that there's ideas about immigration, about power structures, but it's not like hit over your head like climate change. Yeah. It's so much more subtle, and it's just a part of the world. So you dive in from the very beginning, from the instant we start, and you're just experiencing it and letting the waves hit you. It's really gorgeous. So it's 2 myths, Greek myths. It's the one of Orpheus and Eurydice, as well as the one of Hades and Persephone. Hades being the lord of the underworld, the Hadestown.
Oh, well, right. He's got a whole town named after him.
Yeah, whole town, you believe.
Yeah.
Just enough to feel like us living it up on top. Brother, pass that bottle around. Living it up.
Let the poet bless this round.
Now, you've been with the show since 2021, and you started out in one role and then just worked your way up. Tell me about that journey. That must have been very thrilling.
Sure. I initially auditioned for the original Broadway company in 2018, and I did not get it. And then in 21, during the pandemic, they said they were going to pick up with the tour, and they had asked me to tape, and I auditioned for Hades and for Hermes. Hermes is the role I currently play. Hermes is kind of the narrator of the show, and they asked me to be in the ensemble and to cover both gods, and I agreed to come. And after about 8 months, actually, I'm in LA right now. We were in LA last time when I had another opportunity come up, so I departed the show. That was last year, May. And then I because of the times with people changing over, with injuries, with leaves of absence, with whatever the reason, I've been asked to come back and play Hades and/or Hermes at several stints. This is my 11th contract with Hadestown, if that makes any sense. I can't believe it. And then this summer they asked me to come back and take over for Hermes full time. So I am here again, and I'm the only original acting company member in the show now. There was one that left 2 weeks ago, and now it's me.
You're the last one standing.
Yes, but I had a good little break, so it didn't really feel the same as like doing 3 years of the same show. It was really lovely to be able to come visit my friends, play, and then go home.
Nice. So, and you sound like you're one of those actors. I love I love this too, of like you're there for the audience, you're there for the show, because that's way it's not like, well, I've been doing this show forever. It's like, oh, there's new people to do this show for. So
Absolutely, and the show is really unique in that typically when shows go on tour, if they had a lot of success on Broadway, they want to replicate that experience as closely as possible. So they want to hire actors to play the same way that the original actors did on Broadway. And our show is so miraculous that there's room, there's space. These are gods and men. There's room for us to be ourselves, to bring who we are to the piece. So it wasn't until after I did it the 25th, 26th time that I was like, we were talking over a year span time, that I was like, oh, there's that new thing to discover. There's this other piece of me that I want to bring, and I was always encouraged. So when you see our version of the show, it's not going to be very much like the versions of our even tour that you saw before, much less the Broadway version. It's its own entity, and it's really beautiful, especially now.
now you mentioned earlier that there was sometimes people leave for injuries. It's not like the choreography is not like Cats where you're catapulting people across the stage or anything, but it
No,
is
no, no.
so
But
enthusiastic. It's so like looking at the clips that it's like so high energy. I could just imagine someone, just twisting an ankle as they go, and they go, okay, I'm out.
No, I think being a professional dancer, actor, singer is somewhat hazardous, right? You're bound when working this hard and while traveling, things happen. Things happen. If I worked at a desk every day, I could get an injury, you know. Those things happen. But about most of the time they recuperate and are able to come back to the show, and that's really always a lovely reunion as well.
How wonderful. Now, what is your I mean, you love the whole show. You played a couple different parts, but
I have.
what's a part in the show that you just go, ooh, I love this part?
Oh man, there really are a lot. But I think as Hermes, my favorite part of the show is the opening. It is the way that the show and through Hermes introduces all the players of our show. And it's raucous. We have a wonderful trombonist, this lady, Freddie, a lady trombonist who just like the second it starts, you feel the energy, and everybody sits up in their chair and they agree to go on the ride, you know. And it's unmatched. There's nothing like it. It really is incredible to do every day. And even when I was in the ensemble, that like watching Hermes do this and participate as an ensemble member, even then it was like stirring. It gets you going. So I think don't be late. If you're coming to the show, just don't be tardy, because you're gonna miss some of the good stuff. All of it's good, but yeah.
Nice. Now, have you been to Vancouver before?
I've not. The only region of Canada I've been to is Ontario. I've been to Toronto and to Ottawa, but I've never been to Vancouver. So I'm really excited actually to be on the western coast of Canada and see. I've heard it's beautiful there.
Yes, we have mountains, we have oceans.
Yeah.
You guys probably have a thing in your contract. You're not allowed to go skiing on your days off because then you get injured and show up?
There's nothing written in the contract. I don't know if I'm built for skiing, but yeah, there's nothing stopping me from learning to pizza down a hill.
Well, yeah, you guys gotta arrange yourselves a little trip up to Whistler.
Whistler.
Whistler Mountain is where like when we had the Olympics, Whistler was in Vancouver and Whistler. It's about a 2-hour drive up the mountain. It's a whole little village up there. So while you're there, even if you just go up there for the Australian meat pies, we got a lot of Australians up there.
Australian meat pies. Okay.
When this show closes, 100 years from now, when you finally have to go, damn, now I got to find another job. What's the dream role? What's a show that you haven't done yet that you go?
That's a very interesting question. Most of my life, I thought that dream role hadn't been written yet.
Oh,
And when I heard Hadestown for the first time, I got to tell you, this is not smoke. This is not like sucking up to the bosses. I heard Hermes for the first time, and I thought, oh, I've never honestly heard myself before on a record, and this is it, right? And so playing this role really does feel like a culmination of my experience and the closest thing I can get to a dream role, honestly. However,
yeah.
My managers would be very, very happy if I can book some more TV gigs. So I think hopefully the next step after Hadestown is being some series regular on the next Grey's Anatomy or something. That'd be great.
Nice. Okay, well, make a deal with the devil and see if that can happen.
I know a guy.
Nice. All right, now we're gonna go into the wrap up. What you're gonna do is you're gonna look right at your camera and you're gonna do a pitch to these Vancouverites. The trouble about Vancouverites is we are such an outdoorsy people. It takes a lot to convince us to go into the theater.
To go into a theater, yeah.
Yeah, and so you're gonna say why they should not miss this show.
What is the weather like in November in Vancouver?
It's rainy. It's a little bit rainy. We're in the rainforest, so okay.
Yeah, maybe that's a reason to go inside.
Okay, so you're gonna do a commercial in 3, 2, 1.
Hadestown is an unmissable experience. There's joy, there's new love, there's old love, there's heartache, there's heartbreak, and there's renewal. And there's some kick-ass music. And you should see it.
And get out of the rain.
Right.
Wonderful. Will, what a pleasure chatting with you. I look forward to seeing you up on that stage, and I hope you have a great time in Vancouver. I hope it's not too rainy when you get here.
No, I'm really looking forward to it. I've never, like I said, been to that region of Canada before, so it's really cool.
Great. Well, thank you, Will, for taking some time out of your busy LA day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Will.